I am Lucy, 31 years old. I once had dreams to be a singer, to hold a room with just my voice. Reality, of course, had other plans. After college, I became a credit officer at a small bank in Raleigh. It was stable. It paid the loans. It wasn't my dream. I met Nathan at a friend's reunion party. He was charming, with an easy laugh. We bonded over abandoned dreams. He'd left a dance crew for a business career. We started dating weeks later. My mother pressed about settling down. Nathan doted on me. Dinners, gifts, understanding. It felt like a dream. A year later, we married. I left my job. He said I deserved to rest. I soon learned about his family. His younger sister, Ivy, was 3 years younger. The family said a childhood fever left her unable to speak or walk. Yet, Ivy didn't seem sorrowful. She communicated through drawings and a letterboard. I learned to understand her gentle expressions. She was a soft light. My mother-in-law, Linda, was a quiet storm. Her gaze was always calculating. In her home, everything had its strict place. I was constantly corrected. To her, I was an outsider. We lived 20 minutes from his parents. Linda knew when I was alone. She'd arrive unannounced, with groceries and instructions. I realized I'd entered a hierarchy where my sacrifices were merely expected. I never guessed that Ivy, seen as helpless, would change everything. Things shifted after our first anniversary. Nathan's morning smiles faded. He came home late, distant. I ate alone, telling myself he was just busy. As Nathan withdrew, I grew closer to Ivy. I visited often. She drew vibrant, perceptive art. I taught myself sign language in the evenings. It became our bridge, an escape from Linda's sharp words. I don't understand why Nathan chose someone like you, Linda told me once. Nathan never defended me. That's just how Mom is, he'd say. I stopped telling him. He stopped asking. One early fall evening, I brought pumpkin bars for Ivy. I found Nathan and Linda laughing together in the living room, a sound absent from my life. You're here? Nathan asked, unpleased. Linda said, family can come by any time. Her tone made it clear. I wasn't family. Ivy hugged a pillow by the window, her eyes asking if I was okay. My hands trembled as I signed. I'm fine. At home that night, I asked Nathan if he was hiding something. It's just work. Don't overthink it, he said. But I knew. I was becoming an outsider in my own marriage. 3 weeks later, over breakfast, Nathan looked uneasy. My family is taking a trip to Hawaii, he said. For a second, I felt excitement. We'd once planned to go. Then I saw his face. What about me? I asked. It's a family trip, he said, avoiding my eyes. We need you to stay and care for Ivy. I was stunned. Why can't she come? Travel is too difficult for her, he said. You're close to her. You're the best person. The doorbell rang. It was Linda. Nathan explained, she stated. Do you have any objections? I masked my hurt. No, I'd be happy to care for Ivy. After she left, Nathan whispered, I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice. You decided before asking me, I said quietly. He left. I stood in the silence. At least I'd be free from Linda's scrutiny for a few days. That afternoon, I told Ivy I'd be staying with her. She signed. They left you behind again. Then she added, we have plans too. They'll be surprised. Her eyes held a mysterious glint. The next morning, the house was quiet. I brought Ivy coffee. Then she sat up. I froze. She stood and walked steadily toward me. Calm down, she said, her voice clear and firm. I never lost the ability to walk or talk. It was an act. Why? I breathed. I'm Nathan's half-sister. After our dad died, Linda gained control. I was a burden. Pretending to be helpless gave me freedom. You were the only one who saw me as a person. She smiled. We're going on a trip. I have tickets. Dad left me money. I saved it for this. Hawaii? I whispered. Yes, you need to see who they really are. I took a deep breath. I'm ready. We flew to Honolulu. Ivy had booked a resort in Waikiki. That evening, she showed me a restaurant reservation. They'll be there at 6. We dressed carefully. Hiding behind palms by the poolside restaurant, we saw them. Linda, radiant. Nathan, close to a polished, unfamiliar woman, her hand on his. He looked happy, unburdened. Ivy handed me an earpiece connected to a recorder under their table. I heard Linda's voice. She's never been special. Then Nathan's. I'll say she's emotionally neglectful. My lawyer says I won't have to give her a dime. I removed the earpiece, my lips tight. Ivy looked at me. We stepped forward. Nathan looked up, stunned. Lucy? What are you doing here? Before I could answer, Ivy walked calmly to the table and sat down. You're walking, Linda gasped. I've been fine for a year, Ivy said, her voice icy. I played the part you wanted. I played the recording from my phone. Nathan's and Linda's voices filled the air. Other diners stared. Nathan stood, shaking. You're humiliating me. You've done that to me for a year, I said clearly, just not in public. Linda tried to speak. I cut her off. I've heard enough. I'll be speaking with my lawyer. Nathan tried to grab my hand. I stopped him. Be ready to face the consequences. The woman with him stood to leave. Ivy called after her. You should prepare for a lawyer, too. Nathan clenched his fists. You're ruining my life. You did that yourself, I said. I just pulled back the curtain. We walked away. He followed, shouting, If my company finds out, I'll lose everything. Maybe you should have thought of that earlier, Ivy said coldly. Security escorted him out. Linda sat frozen, her pride shattered. Back in our room, a strange relief washed over me. The next morning, I called a lawyer. The evidence was solid. Recordings, photos, messages. A month later, the ruling came. Nathan was ordered to divide assets and pay spousal support. The other woman was sued for alienation of affection. When the first payment arrived, I didn't feel triumph. I felt I had reclaimed my voice. 3 months later, I live in a new apartment in downtown Raleigh. I work as an independent consultant. Ivy studies graphic design in Asheville. We are survivors. One afternoon, my doorbell rang. It was Nathan and Linda. They looked worn, defeated. Lucy, Nathan said weakly. I lost my job. Malene left me. We have nothing. Can you help us? Linda lowered her head. I was wrong. Please. The silence hung. I finally spoke. I once begged you for kindness. Now it's your turn. I don't hate you. I just regret the time I wasted. I've learned to set boundaries. Mine is this. I won't go back to anyone who disrespected, used, or betrayed me. I closed the door. On my balcony, I sprinkled sea salt along the threshold, a ritual to sweep away the past. Inside, the sunset painted the sky orange. I felt at peace. This wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the beginning of a life I chose. Sometimes strength isn't about holding on. It's knowing when to let go. I was betrayed, dismissed, and left behind. But it helped me rediscover my worth. Life doesn't end when someone walks away. It begins when you choose to walk forward for yourself.